Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Man, yeah, I'm back in this bitch. Understand shit. Today we talking about our brother Jaquavion Slaton, who was executed by the race soldiers of the Fort Worth police fraternity this past Sunday. And just want to hit y'all with a pro-black narrative on it. Definitely, on my channel, we about getting out in front of the police statements about their executions of black people, their targeted race-based executions, and getting out in front of the white supremacist media with their white supremacist journalists who write the fluff behind the police fronting ass stories of these race-based executions. So I want to start it off by saying the story first starts in Tyler, Texas. Tyler, Texas is a place that's in East Texas, east of Fort Worth, east of the Metroplex for that matter. And I'm going to start with their news reporting and then move it into the Fort Worth news that reported the story so you can get the advantage of both and put the story together of how they kicking and flipping shit. So, the Tyler news says this. A man wanted for assault by the University of Texas at Tyler's police for an assault involving a handgun back in April was killed on Sunday by Fort Worth police. 20-year-old Jaquavion Slaton had an arrest warrant issued back in April for allegedly physically assaulting, choking, and pointing a gun at a woman at Victory Village Apartments. I'm going to say it like this. An arrest warrant issued back in April for allegedly physically assaulting, allegedly choking, and allegedly pointing a gun at a woman at Victory Village Apartments. Let me pull up a couple things. Here we go. This is where, about where the incident happened. This is the 5200 block of East Berry in Fort Worth, Texas. If y'all from Fort Worth, y'all know where that's at. And here's Victory Village in Tyler, Texas, where they alleged all these things were being attributed to Jaquavion Slaton, right? They say he then fled on foot and was never located by campus police. Authorities called him armed and dangerous, in quotes of the police, armed and dangerous, right? According to a report from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, police were called to a disturbance and found Slaton hiding in a truck. Let me give y'all the detail on that. So they say that they found him in a truck on the 5200 block. Let me pull up the 5200 block. But what happened was, earlier in the day, on the 4000 block, the Fort Worth police spotted this brother and two other individuals. What they say in the paper is that, I'm calling it the paper. This is the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. It's a website now, but I remember when it used to just be a newspaper, right? And it's a newspaper called the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. It's the official, one of the most official newspapers out in Fort Worth, right? But the incident, what they say is the incident began about 4 p.m. when officers were looking for the wanted man and saw him getting into a car with two other people, according to Sergeant Chris Daniels, a Fort Worth Police Department public information officer. I don't believe the public information officers and none of that shit. We don't do that shit on my channel. I've followed the public information officers before and they've been fuck-ups and liars. Just like the police spokespeople, we don't believe them on my channel, okay? But they claim officers tried to stop the car, but the three people ran and officers chased them, Daniel said. Now, this was on the 4,000 block where they claim this chase started. I don't believe none of what they say, but this is what they saying happened. Officers caught two of the people and took them into custody, he said. A third man, who police said was the assault suspect, hid in a truck in the 5200 block of East Barry. This is what they're saying. To continue, let me take this off screen since we know what the block looked like. Okay. Officers say he did not obey commands, and then Slaton, in quotes, made an overt action, placing the officers in fear for their lives. All that in quotes, okay? Made an overt action, placing the officers in fear for their lives, okay? We're going to get into that in a little bit. 3 officers shot at Slaton, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 officers. The shooting sparked protests around the neighborhood, and that's all I'm going to read from it. The protest that we doing, the protest is that we not trying to hear the police talk about nothing. That's the protest. We ain't trying to hear the news write about nothing. That's the protest. All right, we're not trying to hear nothing that the white supremacist media is putting out there. We're not taking nothing that they say at face value, period. That's the protest. For starters. I'm going to get into a little bit more of what's happening. So to continue, they say the Star Telegram reports that a gun was found inside the truck and that evidence supports Slaton had fired a gun. I want y'all to hear that again. The Star Telegram reports that a gun was found inside the truck and that evidence support that Slaton had fired a gun. What gun? We don't know shit about no gun. What gun? The writer of the article just said the Star Telegram reports that a gun was found. And then while we're at it, and while we're reporting it, let's just go ahead and say Slaton fired it. Okay? That's what they just did right there in that first little line there. Y'all see that? This is the article making these damn claims, not the crime scene investigators. All right? Watch how white supremacist media tries to taint justice. I want y'all to just pay attention to the various nuances that they repeat and keep doing, because I'm sure y'all see it in y'all news out there where y'all at, that they do shit like this and they word things in a certain way. They don't quote direct individuals. They don't put certain things in quotes at certain times when they just want to just get off their white supremacist nut when they're writing these articles. You understand? These white supremacist journalists. And we all know that these white supremacist journalists are on the ball when it comes to, or they're on a certain code and a certain train of thought when they are writing these articles, trying to defend the police. Understand, this is what they do. I know y'all know. I know y'all have that going on in the papers that be out there where y'all at. I know it. We know it. We seen it. We read it all. We read all the bullshit all the time that they write. That they fuck shit that they be bringing. We know. All right. But motherfucker, the crime scene investigators, they the ones that's gonna tell you if a gun was present. Motherfucker, not no damn newspaper. Or if a gun was fired through what they do in their work. Not no damn Fort Worth Star Telegram. Not no goddamn newspaper. Don't let them gloss over the facts of a scene at hand with the crafty ass wording of these white supremacist journalism majors at none of these motherfucking papers, at none of these fucking media outlets. And hold up. Even the Fort Worth police say, well, he may have fired at officers. May have fired. This is what the Fort Worth police is saying. Let me pull it up so y'all don't think that the Fort Worth police, after the shit went down, said this. On Sunday and Monday, Fort Worth Star Telegram talking about he fired. Now, just yesterday, Fort Worth police talking about Slaton had a gun and may have fired at officers. May have fired at officers. That's enough doubt that that's all we need to fucking hear. You understand? So not even the police are speaking indefinites, is my point. I always look at that. So Ain't nobody believing the Fort Worth Star Telegram. Ain't nobody believing the Fort Worth police. And it's as simple as that. Same police is for who the family of Kevin Battle is having to pull teeth with to try to get them to investigate Mark Jabin, who the DA found out lied about claiming Kevin Battle had entered his home after racially antagonizing this man's family and racially antagonizing this man's grandchild. Right? Same Fort Worth Police Department who allowed Mark Jabin to shoot his damn girlfriend in the fucking shoulder, and he wasn't executed on the spot when they came to his, when they found him out, when they got to his ass. He wasn't executed on the spot, and he shot somebody. Those are brothers Jaquavion right there. You understand? So, we're not hearing the bullshit. Period. I don't give a fuck. We ain't hearing it. That's the protest, for starters. And in the report, they claim Jaquavion made some overt action. They're going to have to lay that flat. You understand? They're going to have to lay that flat. This overt action. They're going to have to prove this overt action. Whatever it is. They're still not saying what it was. You get me? And for legal purposes, here's the definition of overt action in law. Overt action is a legal term that is used. So I want y'all to pay attention to that. Let me pull it up. I know it's kind of over on my vision, is covering up my visage over here, but it's all good. Y'all know what I'm getting at. It won't be long. Y'all be able to see me again. All right, so look. Overt act. In criminal law, an action which may be innocent itself, but if part of the preparation and active furtherance of a crime can be introduced as evidence of a defendant's participation in the crime. So that's three parts to that shit. That's three parts in that definition that we need to look at. First of all, an action which might be innocent itself. So there's a contour of innocence that's associated with this particular act. It has an innocence to it. Right? For those that don't know criminal law terminology, innocence means a lot when someone is being targeted based on their race. For them to be innocent is a contour that needs to be out there, that needs to be put out into the space of people's media eyes, right? The fact that his act was probably an innocent act. Understand? Don't let them just throw these terms at you and you not see what the fuck they think they standing on when they kicking it at you. All right? So I look at that first. Like, overt acts have a contour of innocence to them that got to be put out there. That you got to put that probability out there. All right? When the cops try to make themselves seem like, oh, they're just so afraid for their lives with 40 pounds of damn guns and shit on their waist every day. They're so afraid for, no, bitch, you're not afraid. You out here showing command presence. That's what you're doing. You're trying to make a command presence everywhere you go and act tough, bitch. You fucking white beating ass police. That's what y'all doing. But they're going to have to prove that overt action. They're going to have to show on body cam that Javion's actions were not innocent and that they were either furthering a crime already in progress, right? Somebody fleeing from a car is not a crime. It's not a crime to get out of a car. It's not a crime. They got to prove what he was doing at all points in time he was committing a crime. A disturbance is not a criminal act. It's not a death-worthy criminal act. They're talking about they're responding to a disturbance. That's not a criminal, death-worthy, death sentence, lethal force, excessive force kind of response that you bring to that. And they also got to prove that our brother Jaquavion's actions were either furthering a crime or either preparatory for a crime that was about to be underway or about to transpire, right? Those are the terms they use in overt act. Innocence, furthering a crime, or preparing for some crime to happen. They got to prove all of that. There's nothing criminal about being in a truck. There's no criminal aspect to that warrants death. You understand? Having a alleged domestic dispute in a fucking town that's far fucking away from the town that you in, that doesn't warrant death. Fucking Tyler, Texas is way the fuck far away from Fort Worth, Texas. All this is East Texas shit. This shit is far away. I hate that drive going out to fucking Tyler, Texas, man. They ain't got shit out there. They got that Watson burger out there. It looked like the Waterburger, but it's not the Waterburger, boy. I was rolling on the floor when I seen that shit. Like, I don't even got no Waterburger. Y'all got Watson burger, boy. That shit real, boy. I mean, had the little W and everything. I mean, yeah. But I'm saying, though, I mean, motherfucker, none of what he did warrants a lethal response. They got motherfuckers that beat cops' asses and steal their fucking cars. And then when the cops get up on them, they don't execute them. Y'all remember Jerry? Back in December, Jerry? You're going to get a charge, Jerry. Stop, Jerry. Stop, Jerry. That motherfucker, when they found him, did they execute him? No. See, these motherfuckers, they know how to respond to situations. They just choose not to do it with black people. They are race soldiering when they come to us. At all points of encounter is what it is with us. All right? That's what it is, period. So, while they claiming that our brother Jaquavion was being sought for a domestic event, where he allegedly pulled a gun, we don't have no facts about that. We don't have any details about that. You know, we pulled up the Tyler, Texas story on it. The cops haven't even released anything on it. No media has released any details on that incident. They're just using that as a springboard to say, okay, he was involved in something, but we don't get no details. They're not talking to the person that he was allegedly involved with. We don't know any of this shit. This is all made up as far as I'm concerned. You understand? I don't believe shit until I see motherfuckers come out and say, yeah, here you go on video of what he was doing. People got cameras everywhere and then nobody get it on video. I don't believe it till I see it on video. Certain shit in life you just don't believe until a motherfucker put it on video. That's one of the things that I'm going to say about our brother Jaquavion situation. What happened in Tyler, I don't believe it until I see it on camera. Y'all just talking. You understand? And that's what I'm saying. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. I mean, it would be reasonable in my mind to see what this brother was up against where he allegedly pulled this gun on this woman. We don't know. We don't know what he was up against where he allegedly pulled a gun on somebody. We got to get the facts of that, is what I'm saying. So that's my point. And like I said, Tyler, Texas police and their reports, they don't give no motherfucking facts or details about that. So why are you talking about? We don't even know if he was involved with this person in any way. So these different entities that are suing him, or that are suing him, rather, suing him. I'm thinking about them going to his family suing these motherfuckers. Yeah, sue they motherfucking ass. These different entities that are suing him with this contour of criminality is something I talk about all the time. In white supremacist society, they have the option to, and when I say they, I'm talking about white individuals. They have the privilege to suit anybody black with a notion of criminality on a whim. You understand? They use their white supremacist imagination. They have the option to press their white supremacist button and use their white supremacist imagination to suit anybody black with a notion of criminality on a whim and attribute criminality to anybody that they want to, really, on a whim. And that's a danger. You motherfucker, an air freshener could go up in the spot. You know how the air freshener go up on the timer and spray something, you know what I mean? A little mist. Air freshener go up on the timer, white supremacist motherfucker say that's a fucking criminal act. Just like that. You understand? This is the world we in. But the point is, we pressing forward with that motherfucking body cam. We want that body cam. Fort Worth Police Department. That's the next element of protest we talking about. Since we talking about protest, we want that body cam. All of the body cams. And condolences to Jaquavion Slaton's family for what's happened. We respect that y'all are hurting. You know, us in the media and different arms of the community, we look forward to be a source of strength for y'all. You know what I mean? We hope that we can be a source of strength for y'all. And we want to be sensitive because don't nobody want to have the assassination of their family member made public. You know what I mean? Nobody want that. That's a headache right there in itself. You know what I mean? Don't nobody want that. I'm just flipping through screens and shit, y'all. I'm being a journalist. If I had somebody to flip screens for me, it would be easier, yo. But I gotta walk and chew gum at the same time. You understand? I gotta walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm good at it. I'm alright with it. All right. But you know, to Jaquavion Slaton's family, just know that it's with y'all's blessing that we are pursuing these body cams on the account of motherfucking justice being served. You understand? Because cops want to hide it. They want to hide these motherfucking body cams. That's the issue right now. That's what the protests look like right now. The police are trying to hide the body cams. And we have a councilwoman out here named Gina Bivens out in Fort Worth. She's calling for it to be made public. So let me put our sister up here so y'all can see. There she go. Sister Gina Bivens, she ain't playing. This is what the protests look like. We want these body cams public because you got several officers firing in one direction at one person. One direction and one person. We need to see each and every one of those body cams. All three of them. Fuck it. Whatever the fuck was on the scene. I saw several cops. It was more than 3 cops that I seen walking up to that truck. We need to get all those body cams to get the facts. You understand? Listening to the cops is dead. Listening to the cop spokespeople is dead. Where they do that at? Where they do that shit at? Listening to the motherfucking transparency talk. All that is dead. Transparency in white supremacist society, especially in Texas, is sending to the Texas Rangers, which is a Blue Lives Matter group. That's what transparency is. So fuck transparency, fuck that. Nah, fuck all that. Where they do that at? We don't do that. We don't do that shit. Motherfucker. Listening to Fort Worth Star Telegram. That shit is dead. Where they do that at? That dead as a motherfucker. Dead than a hoe. You know? And I want to pull up the video real quick of the people whose backyard this happened in, the brothers and sisters' backyard who this happened in, because, you know, they will give a pulse to just what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Because y'all hearing me say it, but y'all got to hear it from the people whose backyard the incident happened in, just to feel their spirit behind the shit, you understand? And what they think about how evil the police were in their approach and everything they did, how evil these Fort Worth police are, how they are evil people. They don't deserve to be on the streets walking with or without a uniform. You hear me? So let me pull this up. Get to it. All right. So here's our brother Stephen Muhammad and Tamikwa Muhammad, husband and wife, witnessed the whole thing go down in their backyard. Let's get into what they have to say about what happened.
We seen the whole thing, you know? And so, to me, they didn't take anybody's safety into concern. You know, they hit on the truck told the individual to come out the truck, and then as they were breaking the glasses, they started shooting. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to wait the guy out. None of that was taking place. None of that took place in doing this event. You know, it was almost like they were like vampires and bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
That's just the way it seemed.
They just moved in and killed.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They moved in, they beat on the truck. Get out the truck now. Get out the truck now. Okay, getting out the truck, is it gonna come out alive? I mean, really? So it was get out the truck, break the window. That was it.
How many should be here?
About
10
or
to 15,
11,
I
yeah.
don't know. It was,
And then it just got silent. And they come out with the yellow tape. And everybody said, they killed that baby.
Did they negotiate with
No
negotiation.
negotiation. No, ma'am. None.
it was like they went in with their mind set on what they wanted to do. They pulled one young man
From under the truck.
And then they looked a little bit, and then they went back to the truck, and they knew somebody was in the truck. I mean, they could have just sat there and waited. You know, eventually the child's going to have to come out.
And did you feel like the situation last night was reflective of how police work? You've seen it in Fort Worth?
It was reflective of what we've seen take place all across the nation in regards to how they treat
all
black
white
people.
officers.
Yeah.
All white officers, and they were very rude.
Rude and very
You're dealing
aggressive.
with a community that's very emotional. We are all shaken up, traumatized, and you get one cocky officer that gets out the car and he's just rude to us. Sir, no, that's not acceptable. No. And our babies are out there, children are out there, and you just being disrespectful. Not once. Are y'all okay? What can we do? Nothing.
So yeah, that's what the fuck going on. You hear how they said very rude. The babies was out there. This happened in their backyard. Their grandchildren was, you know, like in the house and around the house type shit. And they just shooting and just all animalistic, right? Not caring about nobody or nothing. Punk motherfuckers, man. And they're still not releasing the cops' names. I'll keep abreast of this story for y'all so y'all can know what the cops' names are so we can get their faces and all of that. And you understand? And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, so you know when I'm dropping this shit. And don't forget to check out my Teespring, because that shit be off the fire. It be awfully off the fire, you understand? Shit, homie. Yeah. Let me get it, y'all.